Hey guys, I did a short video the other day about my leaf spring U-bolts on the Volare, and that someone used sockets as spacers. Well, I had a comment about it, which I don't care. You can think and feel whatever you want, but I'm going to show you something. I said in my comments on the video that one of the washers was broken. And you can see it on the passenger side toward the end of the video. You can actually see the washer that's broken in there, and you can see the space that's between the washer and the socket. And this is just an example. This is just snug with my fingers, but if, as you can see, I have a washer on the top and I have a washer on the bottom and the nut. If one of these washers breaks and comes out of this mess, I'm just going to loosen this up like as if one of the washers broke and fell out. Well, this is what's going to happen with the socket. And over the course of time, with the stress on the rear end, cornering and, hitting bumps and whatever, it's going to loosen this, keep on loosening it, and it's going to eventually do something to the other side and the other side and the other side. And then the whole axle, it will probably be able to turn inside of the U-bolts. It's bad enough that they use those round grade 8 U-bolts that are round. They're not like automotive rear axle U-bolts, which are like these. If you notice the radius on this, I think that what Chrysler did was they put them in a press. So it's not a perfectly round radius. And it has this pattern on the inside. As you can see, these diamond-shaped pressed in. It looks like it was done on a press, and that's to keep it from distorting. It holds your axle better. And a lot of times with those round U-bolts, what I've noticed through the years of screwing around with these cars is people, they love their pneumatic tools and these new battery operated tools, and they just love to brrr, and they wind the shit out of them. They tighten them up, and every time, probably the last 3 axles that I worked on, the axle tubes were crushed and distorted on two spots on each side from being over tightened. Those U-bolts only got to be about 40 foot-pounds. That's it. That's all they got to be. As long as the U-bolts are clean and there's no burring on them or anything, if you're going to reuse them, or if you're going to use new ones, just run a dye down it, a thread dye, and you can use some Loctite on it. The nut will go on. You could just wind it on, get them all on there and put them down to 40, even 50 or 60 foot-pounds. But if you're going to use an impact on them, you're going to crush your axle tube. And I'm hoping that's not what happened with this Volare, because I'm going to have to address that. But yeah, what happens is, these are going to. This is a socket, okay, and you have to use a 1/2-inch socket, and that's how loose it is on that. It's not like a spacer. Somebody called it a shim. It's not a shim. They're using it as a spacer, but the spacer does not fit the bolt. You need something that's been machined, or you can go probably to a motorcycle shop or an automotive shop, an automotive parts store, and find some kind of spacers and use those. But the 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 opinion that I have, okay, again, this everything is always my opinion in my videos, and that's not safe. That's not good because, you know, again, there's your shim slash spacer. With that little bit, that's what it's doing. You don't use sockets. You get a spacer. You get a spacer, whether it's steel, aluminum, stainless, what have you. And I wouldn't use those round U-bolts. You can get all the U-bolts from me and Cini. They're just like the stock factory ones with this diamond gripper pattern thing in here. And your axle won't distort. You don't have to tighten the nuts crazy. The only thing that's tight on the rear suspension is the pivot bolts on the front of your springs, and that's really not even that tight. I mean, 125 pounds tops. That's all you need. But again, the U-bolts, 40 foot-pounds. That's it. 40. You could even go, like I said already once, you can go even 50 or 60. But you don't want to tighten so much that you crush your axle, the axle tube. And again, these are my opinions. This is from experiences that I've had with axles, and you know, I've had 8 3/4, a lot of 8 3/4 with crushed axle tubes, and it gets there is a distortion sometimes from winding the nuts in so tight. But that's all I wanted to say in this one, because I had a comment. I don't get many comments. I don't have many followers or subscribers or anything like that. This is just, I'm just a retired guy, and I just do stuff like this. But sockets aren't good for a shim slash spacer on a U-bolt. But thanks for watching, guys. Bye now.